So it's Wednesday, I think. No, Thursday. It's Thursday today. All seems to blur into one long day when you're sailing, and I forget where I am. So I'm in Howth, H-O-W-T-H, Howth, and it's sunny, and I'm loving it because it's been blowing a hoolie for 2 or 3 days now, and it's finally stopped. I'm desperate for some sunshine. Definitely need to go and live somewhere where there's sun all the time, I think. But then you'd probably get bored with that, wouldn't you? I don't know. Drop a comment in below. Let me know. So I'm just going to pop out and have a little wander around and see what's here. I don't know if there's much here. It's very nice, you know, walking along the edge, it's very nice, but I don't know what else is here.
I could have
up to the nose of Howth. Sounds like an episode of Doctor Who. And it's lovely. It's really nice up here, especially as it's not raining. You can see for miles. Nothing much going on. Lots of people, lots of heather. It's worth a walk up here, I think. You know, just for the view. I'm just going to start going back down again now because I want to have a quick look towards the town and then back to the boat before it gets dark and the sun's gone down. So that's interesting. Came out for a walk and found out that W.B. Yeats, the poet, lived here. So that's I didn't expect to see that actually here. There's not very much going on here. It's very pretty, but I think the yacht harbour is probably the biggest part of it. So this week, or yesterday actually, I unfortunately saw a news clip which said that the pound is now pretty much on a par with the dollar. A couple of months back it was well, it was up probably 75 cents to the pound, I think it was. And so it makes you wonder exactly what's going to happen to the UK economy if that's the way it's going now. You know, we've left Europe, and you'll have heard me, if you've watched any of the other episodes, you'll have heard me what I think about Brexit and the effect that that's had on us. And we're in Southern Ireland at the moment, so we're in Europe, and these guys are going, I don't know what we'd do if we weren't part of the European community. We've got so much out of it. We've got, so one of the things was one of the motorways was pretty much funded by the EU. So nobody here I've spoken to thinks the EU is a bad thing. I guess it's all about perspective, but I don't know. What do you think? say I'm liking Ireland so far. I particularly like a place that encourages you to drop a car on a jet ski. this is where we came in when we arrived here. Came in past the lighthouse over there, around here, between the red and green buoys, back here, and then round where it says Howth, Howth white. I don't know what it says. So we came round there, between the red and green buoys, down here. There wasn't much water actually, and then by the red one over there, turn left, and we're somewhere in the middle of that lot. And that's the yacht club over there with the yellow and blue top on it. It's all right actually. I like it here, but the facilities aren't great. You know, it's definitely aimed at weekend sailors. It's not a place to come and stay for a month or something. Just because it's basically sharing your washing space with everybody else behind a very thin curtain, if you're lucky. And that's not for me really. I like my privacy. No problem stripping off on a beach and whatnot, but it's just a bit weird when you're trying to get clean and tidy and have a shave and all that. And I can't recommend that really. I think it needs some money spent on it, and it needs to be upgraded. Especially it's over 40 quid a night here, I think, that we're paying. I think, and I might be wrong, but I think it was about 250 quid for the week, because Ellen's working. So we need to be somewhere where there's internet signal at least. So yeah, it could be better, and it should be better for the money, but it's okay, you know. Fish and chip shop was very good. We went to the fish and chip shop, I can't remember what it was called, last night, and some friends that Ellen knew from sailing from years back came over for a while. For obvious reasons I didn't film that, but the fish and chips was very good. It actually tasted fresh, unlike the one in Bangor that tasted like it might have been fresh once. Won't be going back there for that. But it's okay. I'm a bit bored now, if I'm honest. I need to get out of here and get sailing again. I got itchy feet now, and I think 2 or 3 days anywhere is pretty much enough when you're sailing. There's a lot of places to see, and we're not seeing them because we're here, and the weather's been up and down as well. So we've had a few days where we wouldn't have been able to sail anyway, but we'll be moving on during the weekend, I expect, or certainly by Monday we'll be on the next stop down the coast, and that'll be the last stop before we go to Wales, and then we'll be heading towards Padstow after Wales, and then maybe Hale, or go right around the corner, so past Land's End, back up the south coast, and then we're nearly home. You know, it'll be another day's sail. Once we get round the corner, it's a day's sail back to Falmouth, and then we're home again. So then it'll be deciding what we're going to do next, which is almost as exciting as being out. I have no idea what we're going to do next, so it could be anything. There's so many things I want to do now, having got to grips with sailing the boat and knowing what it's capable of, and not being worried about being out in the rough weather that the boat's going to break or something. The boat's not going to break. You're more likely to break than that thing. And it's only a production cruiser. It's you know, they call it, people are very rude about Benettos, and they call them Benty Tories and all sorts of things, but actually the boat itself is really solid. It's a proper blue water boat. The downside of it is it's not really set up for living aboard. it hasn't got a great deal of space for storage, and you know, you can't put stuff away and it's gone out of sight. You're putting stuff around and moving it from place to place as you need the space that it's in. So there's no decent wet gear locker or anything like that, which you'd get on a, you know, maybe a long keel blue water cruiser. So it's not the best for that, but then you're going to pay an awful lot more for that boat. It's a lot more money for a bit more convenience. So it's been a quite a steep learning curve with this boat, and I can't say I've enjoyed every minute of it, because there have been bits where, you know, I just could have easily transported myself home. You know, if we had the old Star Trek transporters, I could have pressed the button and just gone back. But you have days like that, and then the next couple of days you kind of get over it, and then a couple of days after that you're itchy to go. You want to go again, and I've got to that point now. I've been here for a couple of days. I've done quite a lot of editing in between. It's now the end of September, and I've edited up to nearly the end of November, so that's doing one episode a week. And they're getting better. I'm getting better at doing it. The filming itself I still need to work on, but I'm getting there. I think that the next year of doing this will be quite a transformation. I think we're just going to get better and better at doing it, and the stories will get better, and the places we go will get better, and I think we'll get more immersed into it. And I've got a lot to do. I've got my boat back home. I got a 28-foot Cadillac catamaran, which it's 1976. She's old, you know, she is old, but I love that thing, and it goes much better than the monohull crew will ever let you believe. It goes really well. So I want to fix that up, get some new sails on it, so I've got to earn some money in between, and then I'd like to sail that somewhere. I feel a bit of a sillies trip coming on with the other boat. The other boat's called Kyla. And once we've done a little sort of foray out into the Scillies, we might go somewhere else with it. But I just don't know what we're going to do next year. This boat is probably better for long distance. You know, if we wanted to go to Norway or whatever, that's the boat to do it in, not my catamaran. But if you want to get somewhere quickly, my boat's the answer. So there might be some more Cornwall issues coming out, where we just go and visit places that are within a couple of days of sailing out of the home port. And I'd like to do some stuff in the winter as well, to say you can sail in the winter, and you can. There's quite often some good days that are not dissimilar to today, only a bit colder for sailing. But you have to be a little bit more careful in the winter, obviously, and pick your weather windows much more carefully. Anyway, so today's little bit of reflection about the overall trip is that generally, by and by, wherever you go, people are just people. They're all, if you give them half a chance, they're nice. They're nice people. And the only place I've really struggled is Northern Ireland, and that's nothing to do with the people. I just really struggled with the language barrier. The accent was quite difficult for me, and I think I'm pretty good with accents. But they were lovely. The guys in the pub there were nice. We only stopped overnight, and then we went down to Ardglass, where we didn't see anybody. So that was our Northern Ireland trip. I might have just picked a pub where they were all smashed and and it was hard going anyway, but yeah, that was the only place that I struggled a bit. And everywhere else the people have been really, really nice, the ones that we've dealt with. Scotland was just another world for me. I thought it might have been a bit cold, you know, with the people. I don't mean the weather. The weather, frankly, was bloody freezing, but the people were very, very warm and welcoming and helpful, and chatty. They were interested. They wanted to know where you'd been, what you were doing, and were impressed that we'd come all the way along from South Coast up the East Coast, and across from Berwick right through the lock system, and out into this side. And Oban and Kerrera was just beautiful. I loved it there. I was sad to go. I was really sad to go, and I hope to go back there soon, because the people on that island were just awesome, really awesome. It was a bit difficult for shopping. Shopping was a real pain, and Ellen went off and did a massive shop. I don't know honestly how she got it back, but she got it all back on the water taxi from Oban side, and that all worked out really well. But I think island life would be quite hard. It's a totally different way of living, and it has been hard. Looking back on it, the hardest part has been getting the shopping. It's just so hard. There are no shops in Howth where we are right now. You can go and buy a bottle of wine at quite a price. You can go and get a loaf of bread and bits and bobs, but that's it really. There's nothing. It's a small, like corner shop kind of size place, isn't it? Then there's nothing like a Tesco's or Lidl's or anything like that. Which, and maybe that's good, you know, the chains are sucking the money out of the average person's pocket, so I think it would be better. But I think we need, you know, it needs, if it was to be a more convenient place for the yachty to come in, definitely it needs somewhere where you can provision close to at hand, because it does mean, at the moment, it means getting a taxi or a bus to somewhere, doing the shopping out of town, which is quite a while away, and then getting a taxi back. So it's expensive if you're doing it like that. But apart from that, the only other issue I have here are the showers here are a bit shocking, really. And it's expensive. It is expensive. It's very expensive. It's much cheaper in Scotland. So I'm sitting here in the sun, which is a welcome break, because it has been pretty miserable for a couple of days. I haven't seen any sun, and I do like the sun. And we're gonna go off and do something tomorrow, I think, but I don't know what. Maybe lunch somewhere or something, I don't know. And then wait for the wind to blow through, because it's meant to be howling tomorrow, although anything could happen. I don't think we've had a truly accurate report. We never had one that was accurate in Scotland, and the wind was always blowing the wrong way. It was always blowing the wrong way. Whichever way we wanted to go, it was going the opposite direction. So I'm hoping that in the next couple of days the wind will be northerly or westerly, so that we can just carry on down the coast to the next point, which we'll stay there for a couple of days while Ellen works online, and then we'll hop across to Milford Haven, or well, probably not go into Milford Haven, because it's a lot further to go in there. So we might stop out in one of the bays if the weather's okay and it's blowing the right way, and then start from there. I think it's 16 hours in from there to Padstow, and I'm not sure how long it takes to get from Padstow down to Land's End, but I'm guessing that's a kind of a day, and there'll be a day and a half maybe to get back from wherever we get along that point. So a couple of days plus, good couple of days sailing, and we'll be back home, and then plan the next trip, obviously, and do a whole load of work in between. I've got so many things to do, and I'll have to do a lot of editing as well, all the editing that I haven't finished yet, and I think I'm about I think I'm a solid month behind what I've actually filmed. So that's it. I'm going to sit here in the sun and then contemplate what I'm going to cook for tea. So after an incredibly rock and roll evening last night watching The Last Kingdom, which is slowly getting better and better, and what was the other thing we were watching?
Vikings Valhalla.
Vikings Valhalla, which had an incredibly disappointing 8 episodes, which we binge watched over a couple of nights. And now I can't wait for the second series to come out. I'm not sponsored by Netflix, by the way, sadly. And we stayed up till, what time was it? 2 o'clock in the morning, because we finished Vikings Valhalla and just went, what? You can't leave it there. And then we just needed a bit more of a fix, so we started watching The Last Kingdom, which took us up to about 2 o'clock in the morning. So now it's, what time is it?
I don't know, nearly 12.
It's nearly 12 o'clock. We've been up for about half an hour. Slackers.
Rest day.
It's a rest day. It's Friday, and we're in Southern Ireland at a place called Howth. Still.
Ireland, I think they call it.
Oh, Ireland. Yes, sorry. It's just like, it's Northern Ireland and it's Southern Ireland was in my head. So we're going out as we've just Googled to find out where we can get a decent veggie breakfast, because if you go in anywhere here and ask them to give you a vegetable breakfast, they look at you like you're mad. And some of you are nodding your heads. I know that. Hang on, we need a card to get out. Look, it's like Fort Knox, only with crap showers.
Well, I don't know, I'm not pretty sure Fort Knox doesn't have good jackets.
Sorry, say again.
I'm pretty sure Fort Knox doesn't have good jackets.
No, but it has enough gold to buy a decent shower. So we're going to this place that does a veggie breakfast, because I haven't had one anywhere since we've arrived in Ireland. And they do, it's like everything comes with a piece of bacon or some other form of dead animal, which is fine if you eat it, but I don't. So it's making me sad. So hopefully, without further ado, somebody's going to provide me with a breakfast. We'll find out in a minute. So we walked up the hill, top of the town, to a place called The Howth, which is, as you can see behind me, it's very busy over that way. I'm not going to point the camera because people don't want to be filmed, generally, I don't think. But it's got a wide range of veggie stuff, so we'll find out in a minute. Apparently they don't do beans, baked beans in Ireland. Nowhere seems to serve it up, but that'll do. I'm happy. Well, that's breakfast done in there. It's really nice, very good. I don't think they've ever heard of baked beans in Ireland. I don't know what that's about. Anywhere in the UK you want to fry up, you get baked beans, and I like baked beans, and there weren't any. But the rest of it was great. So did a bit of shopping, and now we're going back to the boat, and hopefully this weather will pack up and go off somewhere else, and tomorrow we'll have a nice bit of wind to take us down to Arklow, which is the next stop, and then we'll jump off from there. To go to Wales, near Milford Haven. Good morning. We have just left the port and we are now on our way to Arklow.